What's going on? I'm not sure if this is even working. I'm not plugged in. I'm nothing. Let's see. I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, I'm on. I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I don't think any of my tags are correct. Oh, there's people here. Okay. Some random people. I'm not random, Gray. Okay, you can hear me. It only says there's 3 people, but there's got to be more than 3 because 7 have hit the like button. All right, so everybody is playing poker right now, but I told the freaks I'd be here. So I'll go back. I'll go do that in a minute. Pretty cool place. See that? Yeah. There we go. So it looked like there was some stuff that came out with Harvey, what the hell's his name? Weinstein or whatever the hell his name is from TMZ. He was saying that the ransom note said that Nancy was alive and that she was aware that they were sending the note. What do you guys make of that? Yeah, Levin, that's right, Levin. Harvey Weinstein's that other guy, the predator. Harvey Levin. I thought I didn't think that sounded right when I said it. Yeah, that's not proof of anything. Who said it was proof of something? I just think it's like, that's what it said. Proof of life would be if you sent a video of something. He's just telling us what it said on the original email that was sent. Proof of life is if you had it, they sent a video that has her face and she's talking, right? That's what that would be. It's just, he just said what was in the letter. And there's a lot that he said he couldn't say. But he said when he was going through the letter that it made it seem like the person is actually from the area there. And somebody that's from Tucson, just the way it was worded, and that brings back in the family members again. The media, if you guys notice in the media, they're sort of making it sound, there seem to be kind of hinting at it being family members more. Have you guys noticed that? No, I think the fake one was just some fake person. They're those kind of people are similar to the trolls that you see on Reddit or ones that show up here. They're just degenerate people who like I've had people pretend that they're me and make comments on other videos. I've had people call up charities that we donate to. I've had people call up anybody that supports my channel. They call them up. It's the same type of person, just total degenerates, and they're trying to capitalize on. I've even had people call me up and pretend that they're one of my viewers for me to send them money, and I did. Well, I didn't. They actually, right when I was doing the money part, they go, "Why would you send me money?" And I said, "I don't know, because you needed it. You're one of the freaks, And then turns out it was somebody else, but just total losers, It's hard to see. The screen's so small. I meant to bring my new iPad so I could look at notes, but for some reason I don't see it. I guess my brain is just not working. No, they actually, they pretended to be one of my moderators that I knew, and they seemed to know stuff about the moderator. So it was weird. So I thought that it was really them. My best guest. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. Hey, looks like my bots are still working. All right. Yes, everybody, help support my poker game later. That'd be great. Thank you. My best guess is that somebody that's very, like a family member had hired somebody to do this ransom thing. And they're hoping, and then that disconnects them from it. Unless they catch the guy, then they'll probably turn on it. That's what my guess is. But it could be a lot of different things. Hey, thanks, Grant. G'day, mate. G'day, mate. There we go. I think that's my best guess, is that right there. I don't know if I could guess any better. Hey, there's 8675309 in there. I think she's being held close by. Yeah, I mean, she could just be in another house nearby, but why didn't they respond at the deadline or something, you know? Like, they said we need proof that she's alive, and they didn't do it. Why not? If she's alive, why didn't they just... Maybe they were nervous that whatever technique they used would be able to be traced. What I would do, if I was them, and you're listening, I would send a proof of life to some completely unknown random email somewhere in another part of the country. Because they, you know, if you're nervous that they're marking, you know, they have these places that you've already sent to set up with some kind of software to then track back your email, then just send it to some random place. Because I think it's more important for people to know that they're alive than it is for, you know, them to try to just track you down currently, you know. I mean, I think that's true, right? I mean, don't you guys want to know? I think the family wants to know, and everybody wants to know. If they're alive, then I think this would be treated a little differently. Are you guys still there? I haven't seen you. Oh, there it is. Hello. Yeah, it's so small, the chat over here on Savannah Guthrie. Yeah, I saw Cameron. I listened to it on the way in. That the brother said something, right? It's not really anything different. It's just like, hey, you know, give us proof. We need proof of life. So I think what we know now is that the FBI really believes that whoever sent the ransom letter, there's a very good chance that they actually are the person connected with her disappearance, right? Not even sure where to look when I'm looking in the camera. I'm looking into the left side of the screen, but it looks like I'm looking over here. Well, it is a day off. I just said I might come on if there's some stuff out there. It looked like there was a lot of different thoughts out there. There was, yeah, I mean, basically, I just told you the stuff that Harvey was thinking that they're from the Tucson area based on information and the places they sent the letters to. I mean, why send just the letters to Tucson if you're not from there, I guess? I mean, I don't know where the TMZ's based, though. Know what? So why don't you guys, what have you guys heard today? Yeah, I think it's a little weird that it's been taking so long, but we also don't know if the medication was even in the house, because I think they asked that question and the sheriff wasn't answering it. So if they had taken the medicine, perhaps that's a really big indicator that it's somebody that knows her really Well, although they were in the house, if you go by the timeline, it was 147 to 228. I said that on my live stream today. Now everybody's saying the same thing, but it's 147 to 228. So that would be 28 plus 13. What is that? 41 minutes. So 41 minutes they were at the property, minimum. And so maybe in the 41 minutes, if it was somebody that didn't even know her and they saw how frail she was, they might have said, hey, do you take any medication? Where is it? And then that's the stuff that they were doing for the 41 minutes. Huh? What does that mean? Jeffrey VIP guess. Yeah, well, they said that there was no forced entry. He said, I don't know where that came from. Well, it came from you, Sheriff. The sheriff said a lot of different stuff that he's now trying to backtrack on because they didn't want that out there, but it's too late, you know? It's too late. Them knocking on doors in Annie's neighborhood. Yeah, they're looking for cameras to see where their car was. I absolutely believe that Ashley Banfield's information was correct. In fact, a lot of different people are saying similar things now. Hey, thank you so much, Derek Sherman. Now, what did that say? Supposedly, the ransom letter had said this would be the only communication sent out to them. And apparently they're supposed to communicate again on Monday, though, right? Oh, what's on Monday? I have no idea. And by the way, remember the movie The Rock, you know, with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. Remember that movie? Remember when he fired the missile and then he turned it around and went back? And that's then the other guys were saying, so now we're incompetent and gutless, you know? That's what that's like. I mean, what do you do? Go, well, if they don't respond to our first request, then Monday we'll do it again. Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of lame, you know? I did see the elite team of border patrol agents and dogs. I listened to basically the whole drive for 4 hours. I listened to Fox News, just covered it the whole day. It was crazy. Like, that's every single person during the entire day. That's all they talked about. And they, you know what's amazing is they say all the stuff that we've said the whole time. I think this might be, I'll tell you who, I think the best analysis of anybody on any of the TV is Paul Morrow from Fox News. He's absolutely the best person there is out of all the experts on all the different channels and everybody. Every time I listen to him, I go, bam. He just nails it. Do you guys ever listen to that guy? I mean, he's amazing. I don't know how many ransom notes, but I know that one of them was false and they've already arrested the person. You know? Is the son, yeah, I mean, that's, you know. The first day, me and Zozo were looking up the son-in-law and we were just looking around at all those, her, the sister, and him, and trying to look him up because it just seemed suspicious. And it became more suspicious when it turns out that he's the one that dropped off the mother. But then, so here's the thing, when he dropped her off, could he have tucked her in and then left something unlocked for himself? You know, like, hey, you know, walked her in, you know, and then he left something unlocked and she thought everything was safe, something like that. But here's the thing. I don't think he would do that. I don't think the son-in-law would let himself be known to the mother, because then there's no chance that you would ever let her live and let her go, right? If it's somebody that she doesn't know, then that person can let her go at some point because she doesn't know what his name is or anything. And then you might be able to get a ransom. But if the son-in-law shows his face just one time, it's over, and then he'd have to kill her. That's just the truth, because then she's going to say the truth, and then he's in prison for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. That's why I came up with the theory of a hired kidnapping ransom, where he's going to split the money with whoever the other person is. Yeah. She took an Uber. The mother took an Uber there like 5 something. I think I might have written it down right here. Let's see. But hey, guys, if you want to help support the channel, that would be awesome. I know it's kind of not as cool of a setup and everything, but, you know, might make the pain of not being back home being able to cover this better. The problem is these kind of cases are my forte, and it's just kind of randomly every single time I happen to have 2 or 3 days off. This is one of the ones that shows up. I don't think I have it on this notebook here, but it was, oh wait, I sent it, well, I sent it to my email, but I was going to use my iPad, and somehow I don't see that. Yeah, so I think if I remember correctly, I think it was around 5:45, she took an Uber to Annie's house. That's the family member that lives in the area. And then they sat around, ate dinner, played mahjong, and then at 9:48, I'm just going by memory here, 9:48, the garage door opens, and that lines up pretty well with the time that Tomasa and Annie said that they dropped her off. So that was 9:48. Then 9:50, the garage door shuts, right? Then, so that means let's just say that's 10 o'clock. And then 3 hours and 47 minutes later, the front ring doorbell camera was removed, taken offline. And what's interesting is that's the place where the blood is. So are those two instances connected? Or did the blood, I mean, because that would be early on that the blood would show up there. So then you'd say, well, if they're not connected, then the blood could have shown up later. If that's the same incident, then that means that as they knocked on the door, she came to the door and was attacked right there. And that's why there's blood on the ground right there. I think they're separate though. So I think they came in the back door first, and then maybe they didn't pass any active cameras in the general part of the house, opened the door, and then pulled off the front door camera. Then they went back in and probably didn't notice that there was another camera, perhaps, and they were filmed, but because there was no subscription being paid, it just recorded over itself somehow. Like it just wasn't there. It didn't store it, basically. So it showed that there was a motion, but it didn't store it. Okay? So that was at 2:12 is when that incident happened. And then 2:28, her pacemaker quit communicating with the cell phone. I guess you have to be within 10 feet of it. So she didn't have her watch or her cell phone. So if you have her watch on, that can communicate with your cell phone. It sort of extends the range, etc., right? But she didn't have her watch or her cell phone, so it lost connection. And that was at 2:28. And so that means that they were leaving at that time. So what it is telling you is that the whole incident took place probably right around 1:47 to 2:28. All right, there you go. Hey, thank you up there to Kathy Friedenmaker, and also to Lillian. Gray, look more relaxed. Gray looks, you mean looks more relaxed? You want me to look more relaxed? What do you mean? I don't know what you're saying. This case sounds weird to me. Yeah. I just said that. I just told you that. 212, it detected one of them on the camera. It activated. And then at 228, it stopped. The phone and the pacemaker stopped communicating. I always think it's weird when people repeat the exact thing that I said in chat. It's weird. Are people not hearing me, or? Yeah, it was pretty fun. The drive kind of sucked. It's a 4-hour drive, and then, got out and we played a little. There's this little miniature golf course they have there called Shorties that we kind of played a few holes, and then we just had dinner, and they're all playing poker, but I felt like, I said I might come on and go live, so maybe do this for a little bit. Yeah, and then I think from inside the house, they took her out the front door after. Okay, here's a thought that nobody ever talks about. Why would they disconnect the front camera if they didn't intend to go out the front door? I mean, like if you're just going in the back and back, you come out, take a left, and that camera's not filming anything. So what would be why would you ever need to disconnect the doorbell camera unless you plan to go out it? I guess. But I guess you could say maybe that's how they entered and turned it off. But then wouldn't that be well, I guess they didn't have a subscription. See, what a horrible, this is a nightmare for police. Absolute nightmare. They have absolutely zero. Hey, look at this. Lisa Belson. I haven't seen you in a while. And Danny Mitchell, Allie Cake, Inspector of Gadgetry. I know 8675309 was in there. Shadow Aspect, Susan Marie, Derek Sherman, etc. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think that they entered the home through the front door? But why would you do that, I guess? Just to get her out of bed, and she's going to come over the door and just sort of open the door. And the only reason she'd open the door is if she knew the person. And if that's the case, you'd have to kill her, because then she'd know who you were if she ever got turned in for a ransom. Right? Doesn't make any sense. So I think they came in the back door, and then they took her out through the front door, and I think Brian Enton just didn't notice that there was other blood in the gravel leading to the driveway, because it already goes out about 4 feet from the initial expirated blood and droplets. There's another 4 feet going. So I think it continued in that direction. Maybe they put something over her head, or something, because it was bleeding. I don't know. It makes more sense to me that they exited through the front door. And the camera was turned off so you wouldn't see as they pulled the car up and then you drove away. I thought I reminded everybody of Norm Macdonald. I get like every year probably 20 posts that say, "Hey Gray, has anybody ever told you sound like Norm Macdonald?" And I listen to Norm Macdonald, and I don't sound anything like him. Not that I'm aware of, anyways. I mean, I've heard myself. Thanks, Dennis. It's not like The Missing Plane. Jeez. That one, this one, we know what happened, that somebody abducted her from the house. Missing Plane just disappeared out of nowhere. In this one, people know that somebody abducted her. Why do you keep typing and that same thing over and over again? All right, thanks. You want me to be your stepdad? Okay. Now, they always say my voice sounds like Norm Macdonald every time. I think it's going to get solved. But man, they're in a terrible position right now. They have no, what do you call it? They have no video. Obviously, the person, unless they're total idiots, didn't have their cell phone on. There's no video in the house with cameras that worked. And there's no video on the streets because of all the bushes and trees. And if they do have video, it's just a light of a car driving by somebody's house. And they also don't allow front light. You don't have to have a front license plate in Arizona. So then that causes a problem too. If they happen to get a glimpse one time of the front of the car, and then all of a sudden, oh, so you only have a 50% chance if you get it going the right direction. So they're just in really bad position. And I think they think at this point, an email conversation with more information is their best chance, because they believe that the person who sent the ransom is, in fact, the person. They must think that. But hey, guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel, do one of your challenges, whatever the hell you call it, that'd be pretty sweet. I can't see anything, so I mean, I can see chat just kind of really small moving by. Actually been in the bed. Well, you would think that they thought she was already in bed. It was 2 a.m, so I would think they must think that she was in bed. And if they don't know that that's the case, then you'd have to go back, well, then something happened to her when she got home originally. I think the sheriff sucks. I mean, I think he might be a really nice guy, and probably, to be honest with you, I don't know if he sucks. I think he's probably perfect for a small little town like that, unless something like this happens. Then he turns into somebody who's way above what his ability is. So that's what I think. But I don't know if he, like you say, he's probably a perfect little sheriff for a small little community like that. That town, or what do you call it? Not I forgot. Not district. What's the term of it? County. The county. Yeah, he's just so, he doesn't know what he's doing. And we got a lot of people in here that aren't channel members, I can see. It'd be cool if we get some of them to be channel members. Maybe why don't you guys sign up to be channel members, or we can get some freaks to gift some. I would think her Apple Watch was charging. That's exactly what I do. I just put it on a little charger right when I'm going to sleep. So that's what I would think. I'm going to do this for an hour. So we're at 28 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah, you're not a freak. You should be. We call ourselves true crime freaks. We are the freak family. Okay? If you don't want to be a freak, then you don't have to be part of our family. But that's what we're called. Of course, like I said before, I did have a license plate that said Freak 1. Then I had to switch it to Freak 0 after my wife got that car, because I wanted to be the original freak. But then it turns out it looked more like an O, and then it looked like Freak O, and then Diddy Combs had the freak offs, and people would stop by and go, oh, you know what that means? And so I got rid of that license plate. Hey, welcome to Oogla Boogla Freaks, Ghost of Stuttering. Looks like you've already been a member for a while. Not sure how that happened. Welcome, Juju Bean. Are you guys signing up right now again, or? Thank you, Jeffrey Siddall. What ab out the city cam? What ab out of the city cams? That'd be cool if there was historical camera data on some of this stuff. If I make it higher and then it boosts. Ugh. I don't know. That's about it, I guess. There are reports that the guy who was arrested for note has heavy metal videos on YouTube. I don't know. Guess who played in the... Oh, really? Huh. Well, that's pretty interesting. I can't see. It's hard to see. I can see your comments and they disappear. I don't know how people do this. What do you mean, Kathy? Why would it have to be smeared? See, everybody always says this kind of stuff. I don't know why it would. It just they were holding her and let's say they're dragging her by her hands. Okay, let's say they're dragging her out of the house by her hands, and the blood's off to the left of the mat, right? So let's say somehow she coughs up blood over there, and then they keep dragging her. They wouldn't have stepped in it, and then even if they went back to turn on the, shut the door, why would you necessarily have to step in it? There's just a few drops here and there, other than that one spot where there's the expirated blood and the drops. I don't understand. Yeah, I said that. There's no footage on the cameras in the cloud because they hadn't been paying their subscriptions. Yeah, Ashley was on Megyn Kelly after she made her video and absolutely still backs it up, still does right now. And there's other people that are also saying something similar now. Hey, thanks, Roman. Grab a drink or snack on me this weekend. Hey, thank you. Will do. It's gonna be hard for you and her to avoid. I don't agree. Yeah. We also don't know. It's kind of off. If you go look at it, it's off to the right, looking at the door. And she got out there, right? So how did they avoid stepping on it when she was there? See what I mean? Like it's somehow that's what happened. Okay. I mean, so what's the alternative? That somehow she fell outside and bled, and they were inside already, and then they picked her up and drug her back in. Okay. If that isn't the case, then that means they walked by. I don't know. Either way, there's no footprints in blood there. So how did it get there? In the what version of events is it that they didn't leave the footprints there? I mean, what are you saying? It's not staged, man. It's not staged. It is what it is. Okay. Nobody staged something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why would there be drag marks there? Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying if they drug her foot first, wouldn't then, I mean, I don't know. I mean, my thing is, maybe they're just carrying her. I don't know. But whatever it is, her face was probably a minimum of a foot above the ground, and she coughed and dripped blood down. Now, however it happened where there's no footprints, I don't know. But nobody came out and then put blood in their mouth of Nancy and then went, and then dripped it down to make it look like something. That's literally like, that would be insane to do that level of trickery. And then your saliva would also be in there. How would they fake expirated blood? How would they do that? Anybody? Wow. And I'm still the only channel that's even talking about that. Have you heard it mentioned anywhere? That literally Nancy was a foot off the ground and coughed or sneezed or something with her own blood, and then it dripped. I think it's amazing that nobody's talking about that yet. It's crazy. That's a real thing. Hey, thanks, Jim Lawn. Sorry, Mods and Gray, for my behavior the other day. Sometimes I just get on one. Yeah, that's no problem. I appreciate you apologizing, too. That's very kind of you. A lot of people don't do that shit. They just keep on trucking. Which one, 64? I'm not sure what they said. But anyways, thank you guys. Thanks, Jim Lawn, and also to Derek. Maybe the kidnappers not responding back to Savannah with a proof of life email because they can't show proof of Nancy. Right. I mean, that would be the reason, right? Hey, thanks, M10. This case is like nothing we have seen. Yeah, it's totally, this is unique currently. It could turn out to be something more simple or something, but it doesn't feel like it. It's already kind of complicated. Yeah, but can I ask you guys something? Put a 1 if you've seen. Have you guys seen anybody else bring up that there's expirated blood? I even told Ashley Banfield, and then she wanted to know, well, who told you that? And I go, me. Look at it. I remember the Jodi Arias case. I just haven't seen it, man. Who else is talking about it? It's so strange. I think that's a huge piece of information that you could literally, it's not like she was just walking out, like she was. Yeah, a nosebleed, that's totally different. That's not the same thing. This is means her head was close to the ground and she coughed or sneezed or something related with blood in her mouth. If Nancy Grace said it, then she got it from me, because that was way after. Hope it doesn't just drop off and we never hear anything. I don't know. I think it would be maybe because her producers they watch all of our shows. And then Joseph Scott Morgan's one of her guests, and that's the person I said, hey, what do you think of this? Thanks, Tammy McCuller. Yeah, I think it's more like she had a bloody nose, and then the blood, you know how it gets into your throat area, your nasal cavity, and it got into her mouth, and she like was coughing it up a little bit. That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping. Okay. Yeah, we've been doing this show for so long that, like I covered the Jodi Arias case for a long time, made a whole bunch of videos. I wasn't really a YouTuber per se. I don't know. I wish I was. I'll tell you what, I wish Jodi Arias was now. My channel would have 1 million subs just off of that case, because I built an entire 3D model, just everything. It was crazy. I could show you where every single photograph was taken, and it would have been amazing. I was always frustrated watching Court TV and HLN back then, because they would just get these people in there doing these crazy skits and shit that were absolutely didn't make any sense. So it could be a cough while they was walking. No, you have to be right next to the ground to do that. You see how narrow it is? It's kind of, like a shotgun works. You know, when you shoot a shotgun, it starts spreading, right? That's the same concept when you're coughing. If you're really close to a surface, it'll be a more narrow look, but if you're further away, it starts spreading like that. You'll still have a more concentration in the middle, and then you'll get some off to the sides, but even the middle starts becoming less concentrated. Hey, thanks, Jalov or J-Love or thank you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. So what else have you guys been hearing today? Yeah, Kanika just got me some subs. The Delphi case, Idaho 4, you know, a whole bunch of other cases got it bigger and bigger. I go in these spurts, you know, like I'll get like 8,000 subs on a case and then 0 for 2 weeks. So what are you guys hearing today that we could talk about? I wish I had my iPad here. I could be looking it up. That's what I meant to do. Somehow I don't see it though. I don't know. It's frustrating. I thought I put it in this bag, and I think I was keeping it charged and forgot it. Of course. Perp show. Today was quite interesting. Going door to door. Yeah, I think they were just looking for video. And the reason they're looking in their neighborhood is because they're wanting to see when their car was moving around. See, that all of those kind of things prove stuff, right? I mean, their house is 3 miles away. Why would you be looking over there? Epstein stuff going on. Yeah, I'm not doing Epstein. There is some interesting stuff in there, isn't there? It's pretty crazy. Or, yeah, the fraudulent, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. But then somebody said the fraudulent person was in a band that so was the husband, Annie. They said that above. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they said. Yeah, I think the timeline. I saw people in the comments saying, "Oh, what a nothing burger press conference." I couldn't disagree more. Even though the sheriff is still like, nah, you know, he's not saying much. The timeline was huge, absolutely huge. Totally different vibe of the timeline, you know, and different things that were said. Like he kind of said that there didn't seem to be a forced entry, things like that. But and then also remember how there was this huge gap that was like 11:10, the family dropped. They went over to check on her, and then 12:30 they call the cops. Well, no, shit, they got there at 11. What was it? I don't know, 11:50 or something, and called the cops at like maybe it was like 11:55, and then 12:02 they call the cops, and then the cops got there at 12:15. So it was really a tight frame, which helps their story a little bit more because it'd be strange to get there and wait an hour when there's blood on the ground. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I guarantee you that is expirated blood that's on the ground there. I can't think of any other. It would have to be other some sort of high velocity impact, but you know, it's not a gunshot, right? Because a gunshot would have had a lot more stuff going on there than that, and that's just what it is. I mean, there isn't really another option for that. Yeah, and Tomas is the one that drove back Nancy to her home. Really strange. This one is, it might be a lot simpler though. Even if it's simple, it's complicated. It's like let's say it is the stepson or the son-in-law. Well, he didn't do it. If he's looking for a ransom that they have to prove, then he couldn't have been the one that was in the house. He could have hired somebody, or like he'll split it with some other random hey dude, listen. I've got this 84-year-old grandmother, but her mother is Savannah Guthrie. She's worth like $40 million. And I have this idea. If I create a crypto account that you and I both have access to, she knows me, right? But what if you go in and you kidnap her and you hold her somewhere else, okay? And then we'll get them to send a ransom to the crypto account, and then we'll both split the money. And we know that we're not going to cheat the other one out of it because the other one can drop the dime on the other person, okay? Doesn't that sort of just make a little sense just listening to that? It's just kind of a simple story that makes everything make sense. Because it kind of gives you the unknown person element combined with somebody in the family. I can't play it. Okay, well, if it's a huge grain of salt, then forget it. I'll check it out when I get back. I don't have any. Well, I guess I could look at it in my phone and my email later. Hey, let's get some gifted channel memberships, guys. We have so many new people around. It'd be nice to get them channel memberships. Satellites. What do you mean satellite splatter? What the hell are you talking about? It doesn't. Go look up expirated blood spatter. Put it right next to it. Looks identical. Even Joseph Scott Morgan said, yeah, very well could be. Think of Jody Arias' sink. And I was thinking, wow, that's amazing, because I actually used Jody Arias' sink when I told people what I thought it was originally. They moved the price of the reward just like you said they would. Yeah. They made it much higher. I don't even know if are you guys gifting memberships? Because I don't know if on my phone I haven't seen any. Is there? I don't know if I can see it on my phone. Not sure how it works. Hey, there's this retouch button. Let me see what it does. Do I look better? Hey, man. I don't know. I'm going to turn it off. Retouch off. Yeah, no problem there, Jim. And it looked exactly like the blood pattern went. Sorry about that. My something ton. That was hard to read. Hey, thanks. Body Blow Biscuit Butter. That's probably one of the best names on YouTube, isn't it? A Celebrate kit was brought to Annie's house yesterday. That says everything to me. Don't need it. Don't need that if they... Well, they also say that they're just trying to clear these people. Oh, you gifted 10 memberships, Lisa? Wow. Thank you. Yeah, it's weird. I don't think memberships are showing up because you guys are always gifting memberships. And it doesn't show it on this little tiny screen that I've got. So thanks, Lisa. Jeez. That was very kind of you. Lisa Belson. Good to see you again. Don't tell me you've been on another one of your vacations again. I think one time I was messaging her. She was like in Hawaii on some island somewhere. Let's see. This look a lot better. What do you mean this look a lot better? I don't know what that means. Let's see. Hey, I miss you too. You're always so nice to everybody in here, Lisa. So Lisa Belson. Lisa Valenzuela, on the other hand. Oh boy, I'm just kidding. Shanna's rich. What do you guys think of the scenario that I just said? Doesn't it seem, if we, let's say this, if we believe it was, oh, I got 10 more? Well, thanks. You sent another 10. Jeez. Thank you, Lisa Belson. Yeah, it doesn't show up on my screen here. It didn't even show up as a super chat type thing, you know, where it would show up. Very cool. I don't know why. That kind of sucks that it doesn't show up there. So if you think that the, do most of you in here think that there's a high likelihood that it's a family member that did this? And if it's true that they really are, oh, M10, okay, M10, thanks, M10. Thank you. So we got Lisa Belson and M10, thank you. So if you guys think that, then what would be the, how would they get out of it? How would you be able to pull off a ransom? But here's another thing, is what if this whole ransom concept is just a total red herring that they're deploying to get law enforcement to look the other way and focus in on that, when it's really just totally different, a homicide. And they did it for, you know, they're going to put her body somewhere where it can be found, but it's going to be months before anybody finds her body, and they won't be able to, you know, something like that. A body found in southern Arizona. Well, really? Is there any news about that? That's crazy. Oh, so you guys are, how many memberships have been gifted in here? Man, I can't see it. There's a way to do that? Huh. I don't know. Absolutely, I don't have any way to see. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, Frida. Gray, are you having to view the chat like we always? Yeah, yeah. I think that's it. Right now, I'm you guys. All it is like the screen, and then the chat's right on top of it. You know, now if you're using a desktop, it's below the video at least. You know, but I'm one of you guys right now. Holy shit, we're like reverse. I don't think the kidnapper is right wing because they would have wanted Trump coin. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So I've only got another 7 minutes or so, you guys. But it was cool hanging out, even though it's a shorter stint. Tomorrow, if I don't play the whole 18 holes, I might try to play as many, get them finished. But if I don't, then maybe I can come in here. They usually play another round. They're crazy people. You don't think the family's involved? Yeah, I mean, the way the FBI and they sound, they don't seem to say that. The sheriff, he's kind of words it awkwardly, the way he's saying that nobody else is, they haven't identified anybody. They have no people of interest at this point. He keeps saying we haven't identified, you know, like he used the qualifier like the biggest, you know, person of interest or something. I don't know. I can't remember the wording he used. Hey, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate, I feel so, like, I want to just be here covering this case or be with you guys over there. But hey, you know, this is pretty simple. You know, it doesn't, I don't have all the screen stuff going on and all that, but I'll try to figure out a different way tomorrow. Maybe I see if I can find the damn iPad. I don't know. Well, it's not going to be a tough case to prove once they find the person. It might be a difficult one to solve currently because there's no video footage inside the house while there was 2 cameras because for some reason they didn't pay the bill on it. Then the footage, the cameras that are on different people's homes isn't going to film anything because of all the bushes and trees, etc. And likely the person didn't have their cell phone on, I would think. And then it's brutal. I mean, they're gonna have to, like I was telling you guys. That's why yesterday I was sort of focused in on showing you guys. Now that they have the time frame, they want to have every single camera that is facing towards the road, regardless if it's clear, to see if they can see the lights through the trees, even to see the direction a car is going. Then they'll go somewhere down there and see if they can get a better shot, and then keep following it until it maybe makes it out to a highway where they've got a better shot of it. Okay, that's what they're going to try to do. And then once they do that, they might have a shot. But man, if you don't have a front license plate and you're going to rely on the back one, I guess if it drove by a speed trap, I don't know if those cameras film every single car that goes by. Only if it's speeding, you know. What the hell is a gigawatt? What the hell is a gigawatt? See, I just try to do it like you're... All right. Thanks, Jim Long. Yeah, and he said no, they haven't excluded anybody. Yeah, I think the... I don't know. I think Ashley Banfield is on the right track. Okay? She's the one that has the inside information, a high up person in law enforcement. And to me, that means that person works in the FBI and they are aware of the direction and information in the case. And she was told that. She trusts the person. And we're just, at some point, we've got to sort of trust in something like that. I don't think Ashley Banfield, you know, she might come forward with information before I would, but I think she has the same standard on coming forward with a piece of information. I mean, believing in information. You know, she might come forward with it where I might be like, I don't know, I don't want to do it. But I think she has information that's correct, right? No, I don't think the source would have told her that. That he knows. That person would know that she's a reporter. And she wouldn't break the person's trust. They talked the next day, and he confirmed it. He said that everybody's clamming up now, though. Yeah, well, they said today that they don't know. He didn't confirm or, you know, either way, if the medication was still at the house. So wouldn't that be interesting if the killer actually took the medication so that she would have it while, and maybe that's what took him 30-something minutes to leave, is that they sat in there and they figured out, like, what do you need? We got to take this and this and this, you know, stuff like that. And then they ended up leaving. But maybe initially she struggled and was bleeding, so there's a little blood in the room. And then I don't know. If they were working that casually, why would later she be so close to the ground with aspirated blood, you know? So I don't know. Everything that you think of, there's a counter in it. That's what's weird about this one. It's hard to go, you say something and then you can keep going, boom, boom, boom. It seems like there's always a roadblock. And then whenever you have that, then you know that something you have isn't correct in there. Like they've fixed a lot of different things that were wrong for a long time. But hey, guys, I think I got to take off here. It's been an hour. That was the quickest hour I think I've ever been on YouTube. That seemed like that was like 5 minutes. My dad's pacemaker is synced up with his doctor. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. I'll try to do the same thing. Maybe tomorrow I can do it longer. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys being here. Really fun. And thank you guys for whoever gifted the memberships. It didn't show up on my screen for some reason. But I appreciate you guys doing that. And thanks for everybody who sent in the super chats. That was very kind as well. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I do tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. But anyways, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And I don't know how to end this, so what do I do here? Oh wait, do I hit the X button? All right, let's see. If I hit the X, hey, look at that. I think it's going to work. It says, are you sure you want to stop streaming? And the answer is no, but I've got you. See you guys later. Love you all. Bye-bye.